Huma, I want to congratulate you on the kind of roles that you're doing. First of all, I think that they're garnering a lot of appreciation from a lot of people, but I think internationally as well. For somebody like me, it's just great to see women just kick some butt and take on some diverse roles. Tell me with Z5 Global Mithya, tell me about the woman you play and how you believe she will resonate with us, even though it's in the suspense thriller genre, so to speak.
Well, she's strong, she's gray, she's a person. Sometimes she makes good decisions and sometimes she takes bad decisions. And that just makes her so much more real and human and like everybody else. You know, when watching and growing up films, I used to always have a problem with the representation of women and how they just always like put in boxes. Either you're being rescued, or you're playing the damsel in distress, or you're the vamp, or whatever. But what about just actual real representation of women, who are not good or bad, but they're just people who make good choices and bad choices. And I feel like it's nice, therefore, as an actor today, when I get the opportunity to play characters that allow me the flexibility and the range to I don't know, honor and play women the way they're meant to be played. Just
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense completely. I think maybe that's the reason why that's the secret to relatability. You sort of just have to make them real. You have to make them with flaws. Tell me, there's obviously a lot of talk about what's on the outside may not necessarily be what's on the inside. And we sort of delve into the psyche of who you're portraying, who these characters are portraying. Tell me what it's like to appear like something on the outside when you're acting, but you're someone else on the inside, but you're still acting. How do you do that?
I do it every day.
You do it every day, except it's interesting because when we watch something on screen, we think to ourselves, okay, this is what we're understanding of the character. First episode goes by, second episode goes by, there's like a character development happening. But when there's sort of there's a dichotomy of this is what she's like on the outside, but there's something else going on. What's the challenge of doing it through a 6-part series, so to speak?
Well, many challenges. It's hard. It's hard work what we do. It's well, see, the thing is, you have to understand that whenever anybody's trying to put out a piece of work, it's challenging, it's difficult, it's never easy, because we're doing something that only an idea exists, or maybe just a glimmer of an idea exists. It's like Juhi is not an actual tangible person. It's just somebody who wrote something about, okay, maybe she's this is this, and the director has a vision of it, and then I have a vision of it, and we have somewhere like get all of those ideas and visions together in order to create somebody that people can relate to. So yes, it's hard work, but it's also really rewarding work. Like when people call you, or they text you, or they email you, or they I don't know, tweet to you saying like, oh my god, like that's me, or I identify with that, or that was so good. Like there's a sense of like, I don't know, achievement,
Mm.
in that. And that's what I live for, actually. That's what I strive for.
Nice. Tell me, what's your favorite part about playing Juhi? What's something that appealed to you right away, or what's something that perhaps did not appeal to you right away, and then slowly you started to like that about her?
Her strength, vulnerability, seemingly outwardly perfection, which actually is not true, actually. Because nobody's perfect, and Juhi is not perfect, and it's just not possible to be perfect. But some people like the idea of perfection more than they like living the real life, and I think that's Juhi in some way. And we all have been guilty of that, I guess. If that wasn't true, there wouldn't be so many Instagram filters, if you didn't like the idea of being perfect, having perfect skin, hair, skin, nails. But yeah.
And I like that strength and vulnerability, because at some point, I think when we used to watch something in theaters, we used to think strong or vulnerable. We never put the two together. And yet there is
I
such a
don't know
strength in
any
being
woman,
vulnerable.
and I don't know any woman who's not strong and vulnerable together. You know,
Which is the beauty of it, right? Like we're finally starting to understand that and realize that. Or maybe we always understood
I
it.
think we
We just
always
never saw
understood
it.
that, but we never represented that. And now we're
Right.
finally representing that in our films, in our stories, in our songs, in all of it. We always do that. We all had mothers. Come on, you know how strong she is,
True.
and you know how weak she can get.
Right.
So we always knew, and we are like that, but we
Yeah.
never had proper representation of that. And now we finally
Right.
do.
Yeah. Like, so perhaps we always understood it, but just never thought to display it. Perhaps whatever the case may be, we're making movement in the right space.
We figured it
Tell
out.
me,
We're on the right track
yeah,
somewhere.
right. Tell me about something that really, I know you're playing a Hindi professor, and obviously she's still a modern woman. I was reading about that. Tell me how you decide how your character moves. This is something that really
How my
intrigues
character what works?
moves,
Ooh.
right? Like body language. How do you decide how she moves?
Can I tell you a secret? It
Sure.
actually, I don't know till the day.
The first day of shoot?
First day of shoot, I don't know.
Okay.
Because what happens is that I know the lines, I know how she'll talk. I probably know a gesture. Like some characters will use their hands a lot. I know I did a character once whose body was like very like, limp, and like she was always whatever, or some people who just are very erect or whatever. So I know body language a little bit, or gestures or mannerisms. I would know speech, but walk is a tricky one, my friend. And I don't know till the day I literally put on my outfit and wear her shoes, and I walk from the time I do my makeup for the very first time as that character, and I walk on set. And somehow you get it. Like Juhi, she wears a sari, but it's not a sari like I've worn in like a Maharani or something. That's very different. She wears a sari, she has a bag, she always has some books, and that changes your walk. You also know that everyone's looking at you or greeting you as a professor. So you have so many eyes of like students, who are looking up to you in some way. So it changes. I don't know, but I literally don't know till the day. Like I get to know on the day.
Huh.
Don't tell anyone.
I will. I'll cut this part out. No, it really does intrigue me how you decide how a character moves, because I just find that the way a character moves, because so much of what you do is not just dialogues, right? It's the way you are on screen. So I've always been intrigued by that. I thought I'd ask. I don't think I've asked before. I thought I'd ask you, because you sort of have that. You can fall into a lot of stereotypes. Obviously, Hindi professor, you're wearing a sari, certain way you walk, but then you want to make sure you avoid those pitfalls and stereotypes too. So I thought I'd ask. Tell me, what do you think, or what do you want audiences to feel at the end of these 6 episodes that will be screened on Z5 Global? How do you, one word or maybe a sentence that you think, this is what I want?
I want them to love me.
Fair.
And I want them to love the show, and I want them to, just love it. I don't know.
Awesome. Huma, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for sticking it out. I know that you've had a number of interviews today, so thank you so much for taking out time to speak to me.
I'm counting.
Now I understand why you're asking for the caffeine, so completely get it. Thank you so much for your time. All the very best.
You're amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks, darling.
Take care.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye. Take care.